Hi, this is Jack from Alpha Charts with a state of the market video. Today is May 7th, 2022. Before we get started, this video is for informational purposes only. These are not recommendations to buy, sell, or hold any stock or security. And I may hold positions in some of the equities mentioned. Know your time frame and risk tolerance. Also, want to appreciate everybody for subscribing to the channel. Really do love the support. Over 11,000 people, so thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't done it yet, please take a moment, stop, and subscribe and to the channel. Really do again appreciate all your support. So thank you. All right, so let's talk about markets, SPX. So we have this big topping pattern, right? And Fed day was this giant bull trap right into potential resistance ahead. It rolled over hard and continued lower. Volume is starting to peter out, so maybe the sellers are getting a little tired here, but price action super bearish so far. No signs of them not being bearish. Maybe the we didn't make a lower low here, right? Didn't make a lower low, so maybe that's a positive short term. But the weight of the market with this pattern, with whatever everything looks, it's pretty bearish. And get my tool out here. I think the first potential stop is this VWAP from the COVID low. And I'll just go to weekly just to put it all in perspective. Here's your COVID low VWAP. And I think so 38 or somewhere just about there is a place that is it where I think price could easily end up going. It's only 6% lower. So that's really not that far away, right? Yeah, 6 to 7% lower. Not bad. So we'll see if we get there or not and what happens when we do. But we'll talk about the end again, what we're looking for. We've been pretty consistent in that respect about what we're looking for in this market to maybe mark a potential bottom, whether it's short term or long term, that remains to be seen. Okay, so that's SPX, RSP. So here's the equal weight SPX, and this one is again flirting with this, potential support area. And it pierced it again and rebounded this on Friday. So the more times the level is tested, the greater chance it is to fall. Again, it looks like a big topping pattern, whether you want to call this a complex head and shoulders or whatever you want to call it, doesn't really matter. Yeah, it looks like it's, again, if it breaks below and stays below this area, there's a lot of room to the downside. Again, we'll go straight down. Probably not, even though history says with the right catalyst, it could basically go straight down. But this is a really nasty looking topping pattern. That's an equal weight S&P 500. Okay, so it's not like just the mega caps are getting hit. This is like literally everybody is on the cusp of breaking down. Really nasty look to the market right there. Qs probably got hit the hardest. And we were talking about this 300 level as a level of interest. I even said maybe even down to 277-ish. Again, there's a big difference between 300 and 277. 300 is, 3% away. 277 is 10% away. I'm beginning to more and more think this, 277, which is a gap fill. There's a gap right here. Maybe, and so it could be anywhere in here. It doesn't have to be right these spots. But I think those are areas to definitely be aware of. 300 is a psychological level, maybe 295. But this area is a psychological level, and I wouldn't be shocked if buyers show up there. But the weight of the market is absolutely lower, and in any rally, if you're stuck in positions at this point, would be possible potentials to get out of them, right? Not to start new positions, unless we see some things that are really positive. And we'll go over those in a minute. Looking at the equal weight cues. So yeah, it's fell below this support area. And so very likely the next stop will be into here, maybe even here. Again, that's 10, 11%. I think that's very realistic, another 10, 11% to the downside. That's very, very possible. Seeing that in a lot of places. Again, IWM. IWM had this 5-wave pattern that it's trying to complete. Again, looking at the bigger picture, we're seeing, it was resistance over here. Then we expect this to turn to potential support. So 5 waves, it gives us another, we'll call it 7%, maybe an undercut. And again, there's a little gap right there. That's why I'm doing that. 7 to 8%, maybe 9%, somewhere around there. So that's kind of interesting, right? If it does get down to this range, what does it do here? We'll see, right? Does it bounce and cut back down below it, or does it start to make a bottom? And I think that's going to be a big deal. Doesn't have to get here in a week or even 2 weeks, but I think it does get here. Looking at the what's up, IWO. Let's look at the small cap growth, right? So small cap growth looks a lot like the IWM, but remember, it's just the kind of the 2000 smallest caps of them, the growth ones. And so it is right here on support. It made it there. So now one of the things that I'm looking for is for this IWO to start to make a bottom ahead of the market. I don't know if it's going to, but we're at the position, at the point where maybe it can start to do that. And if it can start to do that, that would be interesting. And if you look at volume, it starting to maybe support that thesis. We'll see. Again, it's just, I'm pulling out straws here. I'm trying to find something that looks positive, and I'm seeing maybe a little accumulation in here. There's some, again, distribution there, but overall, we haven't seen this in a little while. So we'll see if price will start to make that bottom that I was hoping to see here. But we're there. So the next week or two should be really interesting to see what IWO does. Again, no guarantees, but it's at a position where it could do something. All right. Mid caps. Let's see if they broke down. Yeah, mid caps are, right there. Again, they're holding up the best out of the bunch right now, these mid caps. So not terrible, but they are breaking down, and they're still down quite a bit from the high. Yeah, they're down 15%. So they're down less than the other ones, holding up better. Okay. So F is, just like everything else, just looking pretty bearish, right? Didn't make a lower low. So we do have that going for us right now. We're looking for anything positive, right? There's distribution here, but didn't make a lower low. Let's see what it does, and if it holds this particular area or not. XLF, that's something to watch, right? SMH, let's look at that. Again, didn't make a lower low, but I still think that this may come down and retest, another 5, 6%. The Qs are going to be down potentially 7, 8, 9, 10%. SMH, again, bottoming first. That would be something that's very bullish. I'm not a market going to zero type of person, because I don't believe, I'd rather take the other side of that bet. When these are just levels of interest, but SMH, coming into this level or close to it, that would be really interesting, right? Lumber, see what lumber did. Yeah, so we were hoping lumber was going to lead us out of here, and it just hasn't. So we're just going to keep going because there's a non-factor, and I'm actually thinking about potentially taking this off this one. So we'll see. looking at the VIX. Now, VIX is going to be important. So the VIX is kind of subdued comparatively at 30. So let's see, do we get that spike into that 38 to 40 level, which is what I've been looking for, or not, right? That's the real question. I think it needs to get up to, I think 38 to 40, but we'll see, that's where things have kind of topped in the past. Again, VIX right now only at 30, has room to the upside if it wants to. Looking at bonds, starting to see a little worrisome movement in the credit markets. Move up again. We've seen these moves up before, and they kind of fizzled out. So we'll see what happens here. But yeah, starting to get that upward thrusty look to it. So definitely watch IEI, HYG to see if this continues. If it does and starts to look more like this, it gets more worrisome, obviously. Okay. Put call ratio. As bad as the markets have been, people are still very optimistic, right? We're not getting any extreme readings in any way, shape, or form. These are high, but they're not extreme. I think we still need an extreme washout. That's just an opinion. It doesn't have to go that way, but I still think we need this extreme move higher. One more quick flush would be nice, but we'll see. Percent of stocks under the 58-day moving average, MMFI, is at 22.8. Again, I think close to 10, under 10 would be even better. One more quick flush, and maybe we can start making a bottom. That's what I would like to see. Gold, big nothing burger here. I thought we had something going. Maybe it still is and just needs time to work out. But as of right now, not to see. So you're not seeing this gigantic move to what some people may consider safety. And I think that's a positive probably. And let's look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin started breaking down. This is weekly. Let's go to daily because I do like the daily on Bitcoin better. Okay, so I had this kind of like this triangle-ish thing going. Support, flush through it. Again, I think Bitcoin breaks down further. I think 8.5% makes sense. Maybe all the way down another 15%. Into this area. Very possible. Yeah, so nothing to see here. I'd love to see Bitcoin start to make this bottom and turn to the right, and this ends up being some kind of complex bottom that's making there. That'd be really nice to see for the markets. All right, so let's go over what are we watching for markets to potentially bottom, right? Again, we're gonna be really consistent with this because it's very specific what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the VIX to get over 40, okay? Or at least a 38. I think 37, 38, I don't want to make it too low, 38-ish or so. So maybe one more pop there, okay? For the put call ratio, I like to see it above 1.4. It doesn't have to get there. If it gets, 1.3, am I going to complain all that much? Probably not, with other things happening in the market at the same time. But again, I think 1.4 is a significant change in character for the put call ratio. And I think that'd be a big deal. I'd like to see the percent of stocks under the 50-day to wash out to under 10%. I would love to see that, okay? On the indexes, I want to see the Qs at least to this 300 level and maybe even undercut it some, okay? So I think there's room to downside there. I want to see the SPX at least to the VWAP. Okay, so we're talking about anywhere from 6 to 10% or so in the indexes, right? So Qs, just so we could just show you what this looks like. 300 is only 4%, but it's about 10% to that undercut-ish area. All right, so SPX to the VWAP, Qs to 300, 275 to 300, somewhere in there. What else? I want to see the IWM, 170-ish. Okay. Not quite there. 170-ish is 7% to this gap fill right there, about 9%. Okay. But I think that's a spot. I want to see IWO. I want to see IWO maybe start to make a bottom here, right? We'll love to see this start to lead us out of here, right? So that's definitely something to watch this week. Obviously, if bond ratios get real frisky, that changes a lot of things. But those things I'm watching also, Bitcoin. I think this VWAP is an area too. We'd love to see VWAP holding again 8% lower. And if it goes real fast, then I definitely want to see this 30,000 level hold. All right. So those are things I am watching to mark a bottom or a potential bottom in this market. So a lot to go over there. I hope you guys are doing well out there. Not an easy market to navigate at all. But yeah. But again, hopefully these videos are helping you. Again, everything is still bearish, but I listened to a Spaces the other night with some really, really smart people on there, and literally everybody on that space. And these are smart people, money managers that are working for gigantic corporations, Fidelities and just hedge funds and just these gigantic entities. And they were all super bearish. Nobody really had anything positive to say. And these are the guys moving a lot of money. So I think in the short term, I think we may come to these targets, but don't get overly bearish too soon, because if we see that put call ratio and sentiment really push in one direction, that would be a really important signal. Okay. Anyway, y'all take care. Again, thank you for all your support at AlphaCharts365 on Twitter. Like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Hope you guys take care. Bye-bye. Oh, and happy Mother's Day.